El Barrio. So welcome to East Harlem. And thank you all for being part of the community, for being interested in what's happening in the community, and for being a part of the solutions to the problems that we face. And so we're here, I'm here to listen to you. Yo estoy aquí para escucharle a ustedes y escuchar los problemas o las quejas que ustedes tengan. To hear your complaints and the suggestions that you may have. That's what I'm here for today. But before I listen to you, and I want to get to listen to all of you, if possible. Quiero escuchar a todos ustedes. So I'm going to do less talking and more listening, right? Voy a hablar menos y voy a escuchar más. De manera que, but first let me just go over two things that I think are important, or several things that are important for this district, and then I'll listen to you, all right? Vamos a escuchar varias cosas que son importantes para ustedes y después entonces le voy a escuchar. First, 2nd Avenue, right? The 2nd Avenue subway, which is coming from 96th Street all the way to 125th Street, and is going to connect East Harlem to the rest of the world. That's how I see it. Right? But it's got to be done responsibly, right? That has to be for the community, not to kick you out, but to keep you in. Right? And the services that it provides must be for the thousands of people that have to walk all the way to Lexington Avenue to catch the most overcrowded subway line in the world. Right? So this is a transportation desert. You have to, people on Pleasant Avenue have to walk all the way west to Lexington Avenue to catch the subway there. And that's a transportation desert. So we see the number of accidents in these streets, pedestrian, are very high because people have to walk through all that traffic to get to the subway, right? Nosotros vamos a hablar del tren de la Segunda Avenida que viene de las 96 hasta las 125 y es un proyecto que debe de servir para la comunidad y no para expulsarla, sino para brindarle servicios de primera clase de transporte público. So it's a $7 billion project, and we just don't want 3 subway stops. We want a transportation hub on 125th Street. That's why we have with us Uptown Grand Central. What's Uptown Grand Central? That's up. There we go. The idea is to have a transportation hub that will connect to Metro North there on 125th Street, to future water transportation on the Harlem and Hudson River, and to bus service to LaGuardia Airport, right? Express bus service to LaGuardia Airport. That will connect East Harlem to the rest of the world, bring jobs and bring economic vitality to the neighborhood, right? I see a lot of the buildings here are empty, right? They're not, and we have the potential to create better conditions for NYCHA and for the housing stock in the community. But you must be part of this effort. Ustedes deben ser parte de este esfuerzo del tren de la Segunda Avenida. Aquí tenemos Uptown Grand Central, que es una organización que está trabajando para asegurar que sea así. It is also going to provide jobs, right? The first phase, which went downtown, went right through the richest zip codes in the country. So they didn't care about the jobs, but we care about the jobs, right? La primera faceta del tren que bajó de la 96 para abajo, a esa comunidad realmente no le puso mucha atención a los empleos, porque son los códigos postales más ricos del país, pero a nosotros sí. And so we're working with the Rangel Institute at City College to train people, and the unions to train people so they can get those jobs. And we know what they are because we know what they were for the first phase. We got the template for the first phase. So we know how many electricians they need, sandhogs. We know how many carpenters they need. We know everybody. We know the job classifications and how many jobs are needed. And so we can go to the table saying these are the jobs we want our community to get them, and we could train our young people for them. Así que también nosotros queremos de que sea una oportunidad de desarrollo económico para la comunidad. Okay. Bien, that Second Avenue subway right now is in the engineering stage, and we're hoping that this year we'll get a full budget agreement, funding agreement, and that we start the following year on 24. Okay, that's where we're going. The train is leaving the station. Yeah, okay. Estamos en la faceta de ingeniería, pero esperamos que se pueda llegar a un acuerdo presupuestario ya este año para que comience la construcción el año que viene. And so we want to make sure that the housing, the NYCHA housing stack comes to the table, and they tell us what their needs are. And we know, for example, that in 96th Street, when they did it, there was a rat problem in Washington houses because they migrated when the construction began. So we want to mitigate all of that and make sure it doesn't happen in the second phase. Okay. This week, the mayor announced a new Harlem rat mitigation zone. There's a lot of problems with rodents and rats here. We're gonna declare war on rats. Look at Raul, he's laughing. Raul is gonna be the general of that war. He's got a couple of lieutenants there with him. Yeah. You seen the rat with that pizza going down the subway, right? We're gonna get him too. All right. And so the mayor announced Kathleen Karate, who's going to be the new rat czar, and he's going to invest $3.5 million, right, to launch a rat mitigation zone right here in Harlem and in East Harlem. El alcalde va a poner $3.5 millones para tratar de mitigar la presencia y la epidemia de ratas en el barrio y en Harlem también. Y él anunció eso este año. This includes 28 NYCHA properties, right? 73 New York City parks, Community Board 9 and 10, 70 schools, and over 10,000 private properties. Those are the areas that are going to be targeted. Right, Ratty? You're going to be part of the Rat Patrol? He's another general. Raul, he's a 5-star general. And Cherise is a generalissima. All right. So that's an announcement for the community, right? Okay. And then on this week also, we met with the EPA administrator, the Environmental Protection Agency administrator. Say hello to your councilwoman, Diana Ayala. Come in, Diana. Ven para acá. ¿Qué pasa? Trying to be shy over there. She's not shy.
She's low.
Okay, she's doing a great job, and we support her.
The best job.
And we will continue to work with her. Ella está haciendo un gran trabajo. My favorite councilwoman. Los otros se ponen celosos cuando yo digo eso. They get jealous. They get jealous when they see all this love. Okay. So we were talking about Second Avenue Subway. Diana is very much involved in that. We were talking about the mayor's announcement for the mitigation, the Harlem rat migration mitigation zone. And now we're talking about the EPA, right? So the Environmental Protection Agency, the administrator, Michael Reagan, was here this week in the Riverbank State Park in West Harlem. And he announced $10 million for WEAC. Where's Mark? Mark, where are you?
I'm right here.
Mark is part of WEAC. He's going to get the $10 million all for himself. The $10 million, right, is for WEAC, the West Harlem Environmental Action Group, to train the community groups so they could access funding that's available for environmental projects, right? So, for example, if you want to see a green zone, there's a whole effort for the East Side Esplanade, right? There's money in the budget over $100 million, $300 million. When I get next to her, it triples. So it's going to go from 96th Street all the way up to Inwood to Dykeman Street, right? On the east side, right? And so, but if you have a particular project, ustedes tienen un proyecto para hacer el ambiente, and this coming Saturday is Earth Day, right? So we're going to be out cleaning the street, planting trees. For example, we need more trees here in East Harlem because we have bad quality of air. We need more trees. So if you have a project, you have a community-based group, and you have a project to plant trees, WEAC is now going to be able to train you to write the proposal for the federal government to get the funding, because it's very complicated. So they're going to have like grant writers, accountants, people that are there to assist you. And they got $10 million from the EPA to do that regionally right here in New York City. So Diana and I are going to sit down and we're going to figure out which are those environmental projects in the community and which are the groups that we can work with so they can get the technical assistance to access those dollars, right? Yeah. Those are the three things I wanted to talk to you about, because I told you esas son las tres cosas que quería hablarle, o yo le dije que quería escuchar. I just wanted to listen, but I'm going to allow the councilwoman to say a couple of words and then we'll listen.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos días. I won't say a lot because I also came to listen. También vine a oír su querencia, las cosas que le preocupan. I want to hear about the things that worry you. I think that, you know, in terms of what the state of this community is a little bit half and half, right? We have a lot of commitments, as you've heard from the Congress member. A lot of capital money coming into our community, a lot of investments are coming into our community, and a lot of really great opportunities are coming into our community. But we're not blind, and we know, right, where we live, and we know that we have issues. Just last night, you know, we had another shooting on 115th Street and Lexington Avenue, where, you know, a young person was shot in the stomach. We had a domestic dispute at Johnson where, unfortunately, a woman lost her life. And so there's a lot of work that has to be done, but I want you to know that there's a lot of commitment from your elected officials, and that we're out here every single day. And I know, you know, I get the frustration sometimes. This morning I got an email from this woman that says, "What else are you guys doing except doing parties at La Marqueta?" You know? And I kid you not. This was a real email, and she says, you know, there's all these people using drugs around there, and you guys are not doing anything, and that's absolutely not true. And I don't want you to leave here thinking that that's true. We have been working with every single agency to try. Fortunately, it's very real to our community, right? And so we have seen an uptick in the use of heroin in the last few years. And there's a new drug called fentanyl that has been introduced into the heroin that makes it a lot more powerful. Shh. And so, you know, we've seen a number of opioid-related deaths in the community, and that's what you're seeing on the street, right? That's exactly what you're seeing, and the pandemic didn't make it any easier. But it is getting better, little by little. Every single day we chip away at it in a way that is humane. We're finding people treatment that they need, right? Because people that have substance use disorder don't need to be in jail. We know that, right? Many of us, me included, have several people in my family who suffer from substance use that need help, not jail. And so we're out here, we're working, but I really want to hear from all of you, and I'm so excited to see so many beautiful faces so early in the morning on a Saturday, and the commitment that you have for your community as well. Thank you.